been quite warm here for the last few days, reminding us more of summer and not so much of fall, even though we're now in October. And that summer heat is going to continue as we go through the week and to the weekend, in fact. And as we're going to go forward, we're going to see a bit of rain, some today, but the chances are going to really pick up as we get into the weekend, along with a storm system. And that same storm system is going to finally start to bring in some of that cooler weather. So fall looks like it's going to finally make its way on back here, but not yet. Today, it's going to be another hot one. We're going to be seeing those temperatures get into the 70s. Many of us getting into the 80s for those highs, and it looks like that lake breeze we did have is going to be mostly subsided, so all of us are going to be feeling that heat today. And it's thanks to that southwesterly breeze we're going to be having today. It's going to be not as breezy as it was the last few days, but we can see some of those gusts get up to 20 miles per hour and just continue to bring in that warm air. And guess what? The southwesterly flow, or southerly flow in general, is going to continue into Friday and Saturday as well, and even into at least early Sunday. And that's just going to continue bringing that heat up. By the time we get to Friday, highs are going to be to the 80s for many of us. Looks like we might have a lake breeze that returns just for a bit. And then as we go into Saturday, once again, that lake breeze is going to be snuffed out, and it's going to be overall the warmest of the days. It's shaping up to be many of us into the 80s, actually probably most of us into the 80s, with some upper 80s possible. So it is going to be very abnormally warm. And to show you how abnormally warm, we're talking 25 degrees above the seasonal average, possibly even more for some of us. So very warm. It definitely going to feel like the middle of July, not so much October. And this is actually pretty rare for October, having a bit of a heat risk too. Is it going up to moderate impacts? Maybe you can see even some major impacts as well. That's how, and it is pretty rare to see this in October. I can't remember how often we ever see a moderate to major heat risk potential during October, but it is going to be that warm over the coming days. Now, if you're looking here at the satellite radar, have a little bit of shower action up here around International Falls, but for the rest of us, have a few clouds, but a lot of sunshine. Now, as we get later today, we're going to continue to see that sun, but we can see a little bit of a front develop in northern Minnesota, so there's a bit of a rain chance going from the Iron Range going into the Arrowhead. Can see some storms, some showers with them, something to keep it on, and this might sink a little bit further south, impact areas like Twin Ports going along the south shore as well. And as we pull this forward, we'll notice that we're going to see maybe have a little bit of that rain possibly making its way to the UP, but we're going to have more clouds making their way into our Friday, but we're not going to be seeing much rain because that's mostly going to be reserved later into the weekend when that storm system really makes its way through. Now, you do notice something. The system is going to be situated probably right here around north central Minnesota, but most of the rain is going to be on the west side because we're going to have a bit of more stable air mass just to the east of it where we're going to be out. So the rain threat is going to be a bit conditional overall, and we continue to possibly see some rain, not just going into the weekend, but as we get to Monday, going into Tuesday, as we're going to see a second cold front make its way through. And the one thing that is certain, though, is we're going to see those winds pick up. So we're going to see some scattered showers and thunderstorms this weekend, a bit of conditional, but we're going to see those winds really ramping up. In fact, by the time we get to Sunday, it looks like the winds could be out of the south, gusting up to 30 miles per hour or more. And this one is even showing 40 miles per hour. Not sure it will get that strong, but it is going to get quite blustery outside. And then as we go into the beginning of next week, notice those winds are going to be blustery once again, but shifting out of the northwest because we're going to be seeing a cold front, and it's going to finally bring back those fall conditions. We see here on Monday, highs are going to be into the upper 50s, low 60s is shaping up to be. Some of us might stay a little bit cooler depending on how strong this cold front is. And low temperatures, I mean, we're going to be, by the time we get to Tuesday, the lows are going to be into the 30s. Might even see some freezes in there for maybe some spots that haven't seen their first freeze of the season yet. I know many of us, especially in northern Minnesota, saw it early in September, but a good portion of the Northland, going to northwest Wisconsin especially, have not seen our first freeze yet. Bit overdue for it, so might be able to see that next week as fall returns. But that, as I mentioned, we're going to have to wait a bit because as we get through this week going into the weekend, it is going to still feel like summer, probably actually feel like the absolute peak of summer before a system finally brings in that cool weather next week.